some fun.
Morning, Bobby. How are you? Boy, it's a beautiful day, huh? Just gorgeous. Can you hear me, Bob? Aren't you going to say anything? Can't talk? What's wrong? Oh, get on there. I'm leaving if you don't talk to me. You'd be depressed.
No, it's not. I just sit over here and just watch everything happen.
Do you think it's easier to be depressed or positive? What would
depressed?
Is it? Why is that with Americans today? I'll tell you why. We don't have enough to do. You know, you got to keep the mind busy on positive things like the sunshine today. You know how many people would love to be out of their hospital bed right now and looking at the sun saying, my God, thank you, good Lord, for what you've given me for another day. I do every day, even though my back hurts just a little bit. But with his help and a cold shower, boy, I'm raring to go the next day, right? Another day. I got a couple guys here. Well, actually, we have 3-4 guys in here, Bob, including you. And I appreciate you every day, Bob. You do a great job on the radio. No, you do. You do. I'm blessed to have a guy like you in here with me.
Nah, you get any...
Kyle's number 2, you're number 1.
Slacky in here to do this. This is nothing. You get an intern.
I got Greg and Chuck with me. I always pause so that way the people can grasp who I have.
That's
Greg.
awesome.
Pete's not with me today, but Greg Shuhan is, and he interrupted me already. Good job. No, I'm only
Somebody
teasing
had to cover
you.
for Pete.
No, Pete told you to do that, right?
Yes.
Chuck, I haven't seen you in a long time. You worked at Ferris, right?
Yes, good morning.
Automotive?
I worked in automotive, right?
Yeah, see, I'm pretty good,
30
aren't I?
years at Ferris in automotive. Was a blessed job. I loved it. And I enjoy retirement now.
How many years you been retired now?
I retired in 2006, so let's do the math. It's been a while.
Yeah, jeez. So what have you been doing since then? Involvement?
Well, you know, I keep busy. We've got some property west of town, and that keeps me hopping.
Out by
Out by Woodville.
Hunkford
right?
Lake?
Yep, out by Hunkford Lake, right? And mowing lawn, you know, and building barns and having a good time.
And church.
And church.
Yeah, good Lord.
Yes, we go to Fellowship Church, which is across from Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
On Perry Street.
Mike Witzing.
Right.
Yeah.
Mike's the campus pastor.
Love that
there.
guy.
Oh, he's awesome.
He's been a blessing, hasn't he?
He sure has.
Yeah. So, Chuck, you have 3 generations of your family here now.
Yes. My parents have since passed away.
Yeah.
My mom and dad. My son Bill was a teacher at Big Rapids High School.
Yeah.
For 10 years, and now he's with Edgar Jones. And unfortunately, they moved down to Goshen, Indiana, so we don't get to see him as much. But
really,
they love it down there. They bought a farm, and he enjoys what he's doing.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. Goshen.
He's making more money than teaching also.
Huh?
He's making more money than teaching also.
Yeah. Well, great. So anyway, you're here with Greg, and I know you guys are both believers. Mm-hmm. I wish more people were, but we're trying to work on that, aren't we?
Sure, right.
And through gospel music, we're going to get that done. You know, gospel music, I said, is celebrating 38 years, but actually it's been around since the beginning of time, hasn't it?
Yes, the band's celebrating their 38 years together.
Wow.
They started in 1986, I believe, and they've performed all over the United States. And they're coming to Big Rapids. We're just so excited. I still can't believe they're coming to Big Rapids.
And where's that going to be at then?
It's going to be at the Fellowship Church at 407 Perry Street.
Yeah.
Sunday, May 19th, excuse me, at 6 p.m.
Outside or inside?
It'll be inside.
Will you have enough seating?
Well,
Limited.
At first, we were worried nobody would show up. We thought, we're going to bring this band up here, and we'll have 10 people. Yeah. And now, with the word getting out, now we're starting to get a little nervous. Will we be able to fit people in the church? But we'll make it work.
How many people? 200 in there?
I think we can seat. What do you think, Greg?
We could do 200.
200 would be pushing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Last time I was there for a funeral, but anyway, we won't talk about that. 38 years. So these guys are pretty good, and they go all over the world. And you know what's nice about it is if it is overwhelming for the community, next time if they ever come back up, have it at the fairgrounds or something. You know, I mean, years ago they used to have gospel music at the fairgrounds right in front of the grandstand on Sunday morning.
These guys play at fairgrounds, schools, everywhere, campgrounds. They're well known, and they play a bluegrass style through their down-home country music smooth, mellow guitar, some pick and banjo. It's something for everybody.
Where are they all from? Down south?
Fenville, Holland,
right in
Southwest
Michigan.
Michigan. Yeah, these are Michigan guys. A couple
Wow.
Dutch fellas in there with their names, you can tell.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Chuck, how did you get involved? Just because of the church?
Well, it's kind of interesting. We're channel surfing on a Saturday about 5 years ago, and they were playing on TV. I started listening to them, and I couldn't believe how good they are. So, every summer we'd say, Rachel and I would say, let's go to one of their concerts, and we never did. Get busy. Last summer, we finally attended a concert in Grand Rapids, and after the concert, they invited people to come up and talk to them. And so, man, I made a beeline up there and put my hand out and shook Dale Skolton's hand. He's the leader of the band. And I said, Dale, we would love to have you come up to Big Rapids. And I'm thinking he's going to blow me off, and he whips out a business card. He says, give me a call. So I put that card in my pocket, and it sat there for like 2 weeks. And I was afraid to call him for fear, that he would just say no. I finally called him. And after that, 3-4 phone calls later, we had a date set for May 19th, and they're coming. I said, well, what if 5 people show up? He says, well, actually, we've outnumbered some people in the audience on several occasions. Don't worry about it. So we're out trying to get the word out that these guys are coming, and they are really good. I mean, the banjo player alone is fantastic.
Really?
Yeah.
Do they have any records out? That's a dumb question, but so somebody could hear what they have. Bob, I think you guys have something up there. You want to play that right now, real quick?
There you go. Do another one?
Well, I mean, I was getting into it, actually, Bob.
You can't
I
listen
think I
to
might
it.
come to that. That's pretty good in there.
You can't listen to it without your foot tapping.
I know it. Yeah, it's very good. Yeah. And what's nice about the song there? You could understand when these words.
Right.
There's so many times nowadays they say stuff on songs that you can't hear what they're saying except for when they throw a bad word out there. Then you're, wow, what they get away with today.
It's unreal.
Greg, how are you involved with it real quick here?
Well, I lead the outreach committee, and Chuck and I got pretty excited about this option, and we're just excited to bring this group. I used to be a pastor in Big Rapids, and then I was a school custodian, and I just love people, and I love people to know the love of God. And I was thinking today how much bad news there is and how much good news would help people, like the way you started out, pull them out of depression and enjoy life. And they got a good news message.
Yeah, you've been a great asset, Greg, to the community for quite a few years now. How many years have you and your wife been here now?
Over 25. We came in 1995.
Yeah, and she's a piano teacher.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
And retired speech therapist. And I'll tell you what I'll be when I grow up if I ever figure it out.
There you go. Yeah, you're a man of faith, that's for sure, and that's why I thought it'd be nice for you to get involved politically with the community, but no aspirations right now, eh?
Well, right now, we just want to care for the community and do what we can. I think it's important for people to think about their eternity. There's so much coming at them right now with bad news and political news. I think I need to concentrate for this season of my life.
Yeah. One thing, I see a turnaround in America. I really do. I see this next generation coming up. I'd say anywhere from, to 6-year-olds to 25-year-olds right now are seeing that they've got to change the world because the world's going to change them, and it's not going to be in a better place.
That's right.
I see that there's a movement there, for instance, like the Ferris football team. Those guys, there's a lot of guys that go to church every Sunday and believe in God thanks to people like Mike Weissnick there that working with them and showing there is a God and there's a reason that they're playing football. There is a reason they scored that touchdown. Thank the Almighty God. And I just think that, without him, our society is going to be drained. And they're trying to drain the society from him, that. But I don't think America's going to let that happen. A lot of other countries, they've already done that with. Europe's in a heck of a situation right now. But I think America is resilient, and I think that local politics, you're going to see some good people running this in the next 10 so years. We do have a vote coming up here pretty quick in August, the primary, and then the final in November. I think you look at what we have right now, I think the Sheriff's Department is doing really well. Brian Miller is doing a great job over there. You know, I know he's got his critics, but, you know, believe it or not, I have my critics too, Chuck. As you look at me, I know you're thinking, wow, how could anybody hate that guy? But my opinion's out there, and I love Big Rapids. You know, I like my little town. I always tell everybody this is the best little big town in America.
I agree. And it's the only Big Rapids in America. It's the only Big Rapids in the whole of them USA.
Right. Used to say it on the hangar over here at the airport. I don't know if it does or not anymore. You know, you get people come into our community and they say, "My God, it's beautiful." On Perry Street, you come right into the library there, and it's a beautiful building.
Yep.
I don't know if I care for the color so much, but it's a beautiful building. Ferris has done a remarkable job taking care of our community, showcasing it as a nice college, but we still have that little town setting that the people like coming up here. I'm getting off on my subject here. I'll quit right now. But anyway, I love Big Rapids, and so do you, and so do you, Chuck.
We love
Anything
Big
else
Rapids, and we hope that we can keep it a small town,
Yeah.
keep it the way it is. I mean, you can't go to the store without running into somebody you know.
Right.
And we just love that small town feel.
Yeah.
And these guys will feel like family once you hear them. It's a free concert. There'll be a free will offering for them, and they'll have CDs and tapes of theirs for purchase. But I think people are going to fall in love with them. And I've already talked to others about bringing them to downtown Big Rapids on the evenings in the summer. And I love your idea, Pat, of bringing them to the fairgrounds. We'll talk to them about it. We'll talk to Dale, right, Chuck?
We got to get them before they retire. I mean, these guys
Right.
They're a little bit like us.
They're getting
Well,
gray like us.
My brother John Kramer, Hurst, all those guys from the Fair Board for years always had great artists come in. And Dan Spadowski and I were just talking about that this morning.
Yeah.
Alan Jackson's been here. Lady in Red's been here. We've had some great entertainers. Unfortunately, those great entertainers want so much money now. And they just outprice themselves to the poor little fairgrounds like ours. And that's a shame, because if it wasn't for little people like us, they wouldn't be where they're at today. And sometimes I think they forget that. But anyway, Mount Pleasant gets them over there, but they got the money. But Dan was telling about a guy today that maybe would be a little more reasonable. I said, wouldn't it be nice to have a musical fest before we all go on and to heaven someday? But that's what it's for, you know. So if you ever want to get something going like that, my brother John, I'm sure he would entertain.
We'll talk to him. Yeah.
That. It wouldn't hurt. Remember, we used to have the Battle of the Bands. I don't know if you were around back then or not. But that was a real big success back then, too. So music is loved by all.
Absolutely.
That's for sure. And bluegrass, we don't get enough of it up here, really.
Yeah, and it's down-home gospel, too, so with that bluegrass flair. So it's not just bluegrass, but it's amazing music.
Now, do you still want me for security up there carrying my AR-15?
If you'd like to do that, we'd like some handsome guys, you know. Mm-hmm. So we'll return the favor over at the Catholic Church for you.
Yeah, there you go. You know what? That's the other thing I like about this town, though. All of us get along well.
Yeah.
You know, you never see any staging demonstrations of one another.
Nope.
Chuck and I sit here, you and I sit here, Nick and I sit here, and we all go to different churches, but we all get along well, and that comes from God, because we all believe in one being, right?
The one true God.
Yeah, that's right. Well, thanks a lot. Anything else on this, Greg?
Well, we're just so thankful for you, Pat, and what you do in the city. When I want to know what's going on in town, I stop into Currie's for a cup of coffee and sit and chat with the brain trust. But no, in seriousness, I appreciate you. So thank you.
Well, we love Big Rapids. That's for sure. God's been good to me, and this town's been good to me. And I know some people will differ with you, but even those people that have anything against me, I love them.
Amen.
I do. We have to love our enemies as well as our friends. And we'll leave it at that, or what? Anything else, Chuck?
Just it's May 19th, Sunday, May 19th at 6 p.m. And if you want a good show and good music, come on down.
And refreshments, too, after it's over.
Right.
Free refreshments.
Well, we're going to push it, and by God willing, I'm going to be there. I think my wife and I will be there.
I think you'll like it.
Yeah, that'll be a good one to go to. So, so if you want to see me, Well, I shouldn't say I'm going.
No.
They were going to go, but now I'm not going.
It now.
Going.
But thanks for having us on
Pat.
the show.
Thanks, Bob.
Appreciate it.
And we'll promote it next week, too. We'll bring it up
Great.
again.
Thanks so much.
All right. Thanks a lot,
care.
Greg. Yeah,
Right.
thanks a lot,
Thanks,
Chuck.
Pat.
Thank you. So you're not going to stop at 9 then, eh?
No, not at all.
Well, it's a beautiful day.
I think
isn't it,
about
Bob?
11:30. I think is.
That's nice. We got that many sponsors. We really
It
appreciate
makes
them.
Jen laugh every time I say that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know
No,
what,
yeah.
Bob? See, there's a positive thing. You're making people laugh. You don't know, but you are quite the comedian.
Oh yeah.
When you want to be, when you come out of that shell.
I'm very humble.
We got to get more people out of their shells. Love, not hate. Hey, next subject is Nick Jackman from Springfield Roofing. He's one of our new sponsors, but I've known Nick for probably a year now.
Yes.
Yeah, you and Matt came in the station, introduced yourselves. You're right downtown Big Rapids, right?
Yes, we are.
And then you're also up in Traverse City or
Kingsley, just south of town.
Yeah, yeah. And that's a nice little town. You ever eat that diner there in Kingsley?
Oh, yeah.
My wife and I have a brother that lives up in Traverse City, and every time we go up there, we make sure we don't eat. So we stop there and eat. God, they have good breakfast and good lunch. They're closed in the evening, though, aren't they?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Should call them up, tell them they owe me money for promoting them. What's the name of it? I can't remember. It doesn't matter. Let's move on, because we shouldn't promote that when we got hooked at Curry's down in Big Rapids here. But, Nick, anyway, you've been a great tribute to Big Rapids so far. Contribution, I should say. What made you guys decide to come down here? You saw the market, eh?
Well, we saw an opportunity. It seemed a little bit underserved as far as commercial roofing went. Matt, who you've met, he had some ties to the area.
Yeah, he does.
We were getting some work down here, and we wanted to really engage with the area and not just come down here and get some work and then head back up north. We wanted to really dig in and be a part of town.
Yeah. So you mainly do commercial buildings, right?
Yes.
No residential.
So we'll do some residential if it's got a flat or a low sloped roof on it. That would be a similar application to commercial, but you're correct that we're primarily commercial.
So rubber roofing.
What we specialize in is actually a PVC membrane. It's we partner with Duralast Roofing in Saginaw, so we get to use a Michigan-made product. It's a heat weldable PVC, but a lot of folks call it rubber. Kind of like tissues and Kleenex.
Right.
Like it's
Is that the white? The color's
Yes.
white.
You can get it in a variety of colors, but 90% of the time white.
And the reason for white is it reflects light better and it doesn't take the heat in, right? Is that
Yes. If aesthetics aren't a big factor in the project, you're going to want to go with white for the cooling aspect of it.
Isn't that amazing that sun hits white and it doesn't heat up like black or red or what have you, huh?
That white membrane will never get more than 15 degrees hotter than the outside air temperature,
Really?
which is really, you really appreciate it as we turn the corner into summer here.
So that, how long has that been out, that new roofing? Because it used to be always rubber, wasn't it? But
Yeah.
tar actually, wasn't it?
Tar, yeah.
Tar.
And Duralast Roofing has been around 40 plus years. White, the white membrane's been around in the industry a little bit longer than that. But in the last, 20, 25 years, you've really seen everybody turn the corner and gear more towards it.
So, but it used to be tar. I remember Newberry's and Bloxham Roofing here in town for years. Actually, I think Blaine worked for Mark's dad and Brad's dad there. But anyway, they tarred our roof, and it would last so long. They did a nice job, but that was hot tar back then. They don't do that anymore, eh?
Very few. You're seeing very few people do that in the industry anymore. And there's a variety of different reasons for it. But at the end of it all, it's a little bit safer process. What we're doing today, it's a little bit, less invasive to the client. There's not that smell and all the danger of
Yeah, because they're pretty hot.
Yeah, oh, you would know if we were doing it. It's a pretty.
But if somebody
solid
asked
process.
you to do it, would you do it?
We're not set up to do it. We wouldn't be able to.
It wouldn't be worth. It's just not worth it then.
We would have to invest pretty heavily in the setup for it.
Yeah, because I remember they used to burn it down below and hauled up by buckets. Holy Lord! So this stuff comes in sheets then, eh?
Yes, you can get it in prefabricated sheets, or you can get it in a variety of different size rolls.
So what's the widest? That
10 feet.
10 feet. Then you have a seam there, right? Mm-hmm. Then how do you connect the two seams then?
So we use heat. So you use hot air guns, and you can have handheld ones, or there's one that's it's a walker welder. It's the same kind of concept as a self-propelled push mower type of thing.
Yeah.
And you fuse the seam together with about 1,000 degree air.
So how long does a roof like that last? And how thick is it? I'm just curious.
You can get a variety of different thicknesses, all the way from 50 mil up to like 120 mil if you want to.
How many inches is that? Half inch?
Oh, a lot less than that. Yeah, very thin.
So it's actually better thinner, probably.
Yeah.
Give and take.
Well, it depends on what you need. If you're in a high hail zone, you're going to want a little thicker stuff with a different underlayment below it. 90% of the time we're doing a 50 mil.
Do you do steel too then?
We do repair work on steel, but we don't install too much of it ourselves.
So mainly it is flat roofs you work on.
Yep, flat and low slope.
Why wouldn't you put on a pitch roof, a rubber roof? Why wouldn't a guy do that?
A lot of times it's aesthetics. Our office in Kingsley's got a sloped roof on it, and we put a white membrane on there, because it's who we are. It's what we think's the best solution.
Right.
But, I get it. On a residential home, you want the aesthetic look of the shingles or the aesthetic look of the steel.
Yeah. But on a commercial building like that across the street, that's a steel roof, isn't it? That old body shop over there?
That looks like it might be a black rubber, or it might be an old asphalt rolled roofing. But we could put our roof on that. We've done similar projects to that.
Yeah. So if you had like a garage and you wanted a white roof, it'd look just fine. Mm-hmm. Any questions, Bobby?
No, not at all. Basically, talking about the old asphalt roofs, you always had the danger of setting the entire business on fire when you were dealing with that kind of heat.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, yeah.
Well, I don't know. Has there ever been a fire? I doubt it.
You know that. But also, you think about the loading on the roof, and a lighter roof would be good for that, especially when you get the snow build up and things like that. That roof can only take so much. So the less material you have on there, I would think the better.
So on the rolled roofing, like you say there, is that what you call it, rolled roofing?
Our system?
Yeah.
We call it a membrane, but yeah.
Membrane. So if you had a leak, is it easy to detect one? Because like it could leak over here to the left and down below it's leaking over here. Can you detect a leak on those or not?
Absolutely, yeah. First thing you look for is a hole or a puncture, a slice of some type, and then you check the seams, check the penetrations, make sure, everything is good, but start where the leak is and work your way uphill from there.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of work out there, isn't there?
There is.
Gosh, just amazing how many flat roofs. And people are thinking, why would you build with flat roof? It's just cheaper, isn't it?
Long story short, it's the least expensive way to cover the most square feet. That's why you see it so heavy in manufacturing, and a lot of times they've got to put equipment up there.
Yeah.
So you've got to, you'd prefer to have that on a flat roof, of course. It's a little easier and safer.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Anything else on your business you want to talk about? Let's say your phone number and Springfield Roofing. You're located at where at Big Rapids, sir?
We're on Michigan Ave downtown, right by Brown's Barbershop.
So where do you live then? Up in
I live in Traverse City.
Oh, you live in you're married and have children?
I am, yes.
So was you born and raised in Traverse City?
No, I was born in Freeland, Michigan, just outside of Saginaw, and kind of started working my way this way. I went to college at Central Michigan, and then I got an internship in Traverse City. Worked in minor league baseball for a couple of years.
Oh, you did?
And then I grew up in construction. My family has a glass and window company.
In Freeland?
Midland.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And just kind of worked my way back up this way and got into construction.
If you didn't you ever been to Freeland, Bob?
I have not, no. Been to Saginaw.
Brad Merrick was Brad. I'll put you in here for a minute. You ever been to Freeland?
No, I don't think I have.
No, you would never go there unless they have a very famous vet clinic there. Saginaw Valley Vet Clinic. It's beautiful. I've been there with a horse, and it's not cheap. But anyway, do you know where that's at?
No,
it's only been there for a few years.
I don't get down there too often anymore. My family's kind of spread out a little bit. But
yeah, you wouldn't go to Freeland. I mean, I didn't even know where it was at, to be honest with you. It's off the map. It's right there south of 10, going into Midland. And there's been some famous people live and gone from there, eh? It's right on a river there, too, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, some nice homes in there, farmland. Yeah, Freeland's a nice little town. But so then, your wife, does she work up there?
She does. She is a senior accounting manager at Haggerty.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, insurance company. Kids? How many kids?
3 kids.
How old are they now?
10, 7, and 4.
How they adapt into American life?
Oh, they love it. They are thriving. They're doing really well in school. They love to play sports. We live in a subdivision, so they're always chasing other kids around, having a good time.
Yeah, isn't it amazing? We should all be like that, shouldn't we? Even adults, we should just go out and play instead of going to the bar and getting a buzz. What school they go to up there?
Immaculate Conception.
Okay, yeah. But you know, it amazes me is that couples that are together and love one another. Oh, there's divorced ones too that remarry and have successful children. But those kids that just have one set, so fortunate, you know, and just, I mean, I look at my grandkids there and my God, I say to my wife, they got so many great memories and I hope that continues throughout their life. And again, I think our world's changing to the better. I know there's some obstacles that we got to go through, but people like you and your wife and Brad over there and Bob and a little bit like me, are going to make it a lot better if we all get out and vote. You know, I was talking to a couple young people the other day, and I asked them, "Do you vote?" And no, we don't. Oh, why don't you? Well, we won't make a difference. In all the course of history of America right now, you can make a difference. This is the year that people have to get out and register and vote. And if you believe in what's going on right now and you want to, I shouldn't say socialist country, but more of a comfort for those that don't want to work, I guess you want to vote that one way. But if you want that conservative look, obviously it's independent conservative Republican, I guess you might say. You want to vote for that. But I tell this not to be too partial on either side, but of course I lean to the one side, you know that. Everybody knows that. But read the issues. You know, I mean, if you like taking home a third of what you're making right now, read the issues. You want to make a change, read the issues. See who's backing what, you know. But I get off on that tangent a little bit. But we got some great people, local people running for commissioners and stuff. And I know you guys do up in Traverse City too, huh?
Yeah.
Are you getting some people running against incumbents?
Yes, yep.
Yeah. And there's a reason for it, isn't there? Traverse City's trying to change too, aren't they? Yeah, my brother lives up there. He tells me about it all the time. It's a beautiful city, but yeah. Anyway, Kingsley, good town to live in, eh? And
It is, yeah. Small town, you know, kind of a bedroom community just outside of Traverse City, but really good people and a great place to do business.
You know, like Michigan, our biggest industry is recreation. Don't you agree? If you look at Traverse City in the summertime, that place is booming because of what? Water.
Right.
You look around here, you look at Cran Hill Ranch out there, the thousands of people that bring into this town, and the community, how they reap off it is recreation in the lakes and stuff. So, I don't know, I just like our little town. And you've adapted well down here, eh? Getting to know a lot of people. Matt, like you say, your partner there, he already knew a lot of people.
Yes. And thanks to you, Pat, and your team, you guys have been super welcoming. You know, every time we stop in and get fuel and get something to drink, you always drop what you're doing and say hello and introduce us to somebody and speak real kindly of us. So we appreciate that.
Well, you know, it's all about relationships. You know that. Bradley knows that in hockey. You know, it doesn't matter if you're in sports or you're in business or what you are. Bob and I have a good relationship here. We get along great. But that's the thing, you know, and integrity. I understand you have a lot of that there in your business. So I've had nothing but people say that you do a great job and you're good people and you stick with the price that you give them. That has a lot to do with it, too. Honest people. So you are that. So you make me look good when I tell somebody to get a hold of you and they come back and say you did a great job. That's a compliment to me.
Thank you.
It works both ways. I'm glad to have you in town. Bob, any questions on roofing?
Oh, not really. They're very interesting about how this new material or newer to us, because you know, you always heard about asphalt and the rubber roofing, but to hear about this membrane, that there's an alternative, and it's something really good to explore. And I understand a lot of people are doing that, so it's all good.
Yeah, good. Anything else, Nick?
No, thank you so much again for having me and being so welcoming.
We'll have you on again. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Let's get that number one more time while we have you on.
Huh?
The number to call.
Oh, yes, of course. Rick, say it.
231-632-263-5300.
I'm going to write it down here. I got your card in my wallet, but I'll say it one more time after we're done here. 231.
263.
263.
5300.
00. Hey, now, one more thing. You do commercial industrial buildings. Do you do any farms or anything like that, or any other?
We do a lot of work in the food processing industry. So, it's not on a smaller farm, but it's more of an industrial setting. But yeah, we do.
Yep. So that's good to know. That's for sure. Well, we got a lot of roofs in this community that you'll probably be looking at. Ours is doing all right, but I know when it does need it, you'll be called on. So
thank you.
Appreciate that. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Nick.
All right. Thank you.
All right, Bob.
Yep.
What do you think? Want to play a song?
Yeah, play a song. Give me a song here.
I'm going to give you a song here. Let me.
Play. I don't know.
The reason. Well, not the only reason.
How about Josh Groban would do that? You Raise Me Up. You like that one?
Yeah, let's play that one.
Right.
Yeah, thanks, Bob.
All right, we're going to. Well, give me a second.
And then we got somebody I want to talk about and wish a merry, happy birthday today.
There you go.
Well, welcome back, Bobby.
Turn down 3 and 4 there, would you?
Shut it
There
down.
we go.
Shut her
Less
down.
squeal.
All right. Well, I tell you what, we've talked about a lot of people and a lot of businesses in the community and rah this and rah that, and always try to keep it a positive thing. Once in a while we get down and out. But today I want to talk about a couple of gals here. One is Eleanor Spadowski. Everybody thought she was a Yerington. She's a Wheeler. The reason I say Eleanor Spadowski, what that symbol is 91 years of life tomorrow. So Eleanor was our babysitter back in the day, and I've talked about her before. Just a wonderful gal. Some of the quick moments that I had with her was I was in the First National Bank at their chemical bank one day depositing. She walked in, she looked at all the girls, she goes, I used to wipe his beep.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, in my diapers, she did.
Yeah.
But anyway, she was a great contribution to our neighborhood for what she put into it. So she's 91 years old tomorrow. That's just a great life. And I saw her driving today, for God's sake. She's driving her car, the old Cadillac, and she's probably a better driver than most of these young people.
Yeah, right.
I don't think she texts on the road.
No.
But, happiness, rejoice that we have another day. This young gal didn't have another day. Cindy Weepert. She passed away last week. Bob and Mary Kay's daughter. She worked at Bob Evans for a lot of years, had 2 sons, Cody and Chad. Sometimes I forget to do things, Bob, and I am very saddened that I didn't make her service there this last week. I completely forgot about it. Frank Ball died. I went to his, and I just had so much on my mind, and I don't have much of a mind left. So I apologize to the family, but she was in my prayers and your thoughts, the Weepert family. Now, I asked this young gentleman to be with me here today, and as God would have it, there's a purpose. His name's Bradley Merrick. He's in the semi-pros, right, Brad?
Yep.
In hockey. And he's sitting here with us, and I'm going to pay tribute to a lady in the community that has started and has done so much in her life. She raised 2 boys, Rick and Paul, and a daughter, Rhonda, married husband, Ron, childhood sweetheart, or I shouldn't say childhood, it was actually high school. Graduated in 1966 from Barrington High. As you see, I'm not reading this, I'm trying to remember it all. And she was a farm girl. She was a Denslow. Do you know the Denslows from Barrington?
I do not.
All right, well, the Denslows were big people over there, farmers, and they taught their kids how to farm. She used to drive a tractor, put up hay. Just a great lady. She started a daycare center here in Big Rapids. I don't know what year. Bradley probably can tell us because he was just a tot, and he'll talk about that, his experience at the daycare. It was right on New Mill Pond Road, right at the end of it on the right-hand side. To this day, it's still there, run by a different person. But Paulette and Ron ran it for years. Ron worked for Coastal A&R out there at the gas company for a lot of years, so he was gone a lot, but he made sure he was home when he needed to be. But she saw a sport that I guess nobody really thought about doing it, and her boys got involved, and I believe she started before her boys got in it, was hockey. She saw a need for that sport in Big Rapids, and she did a great job with it. I mean, she was the gal that put it all together, and I'll tell you right now, Bob, I understand that she financed a lot of it, too, herself. Wow. She had a lot of fundraisers.
Yep.
I remember Barb Britton later on got involved with her, and They were doing all kinds of ice things, not just hockey, but ice capade or whatever the hell they call it. But anyway, just overwhelmed girl. But she, let's see, she got, this is from Ron. I don't know if this will work or not, but I work with Paulette's cousin. He told me I should go look up his cousin Paulette and ask her out. So I thought, why not? She didn't want to go with me at first. She was shy, but her friend talked her into it. Now, 58 years in July, we are still together. She grew up on a farm driving tractor for her dad and neighbors putting up hay, picking stones and all that good stuff farm girls do. She has always liked to help others even when she was younger. She hasn't changed. That's from her husband.
Nice.
What a tribute.
Yeah,
you know,
nice
those
tribute.
two, they've been to Florida back and forth over the years, and they deserve nothing but the best. She was in an accident a few years ago, so she's been through her pains too. And sometimes you ask God why, because this girl's done so much for everybody, so much. I mean, unbelievable. And then I was talking to Linda Myers, also not also, but she graduated from Big Rapids. She was a Hawk, and she ended up being superintendent of schools in Morley Stanwood. I admire Linda anyway, let's put it that way. I was talking to her and about her card club. And they call Pedro. You know what Pedro is? The card game Pedro?
I don't know.
Well, I don't either.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Euchre.
Huh?
Euchre, I mean,
Yeah, we
I
play
know
euchre.
that one.
But these girls have been playing Pedro for over 50 years. Let me get it here. She texted me a little bit here. I'm not going to lie to you here. Members of our Pedro that has been meeting once a month over 50 years are Paulette, Maxine Lau, Margaret Taylor, Judy Hale, Julie McDonald, Darby Kinsel, Linda Stevens, and Linda Myers herself. Margaret and Maxine have passed, and Linda Stevens, Darby Kinsel have moved on. So there are only 4 of us left, she says. We still have a great time monthly, though. Isn't that amazing?
That's great.
To have friends like that for over 50 years once a month. But anyway, Paulette, getting back to hockey, I have Brad here. I'm going to let him talk about what it's meant to him and the career path that he has taken now. And Bradley, pretty much, if it wasn't for Paulette, you wouldn't be here today with this, would you?
Yeah, no, and that's pretty crazy to think about. Definitely something that young hockey players now in the community that they definitely don't think about. It's pretty cool that somebody so influential to this community was able to start something like that for us.
What you touched on, that it's you went to DeVries Family Care or Child Care Center.
Yeah, so I went there, and I mean, for as long as I can remember, and I was lucky enough to be with that family. They took really good care of me, and I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, they have a good little school there. What year was that? Do you remember back?
Oh boy.
Yeah. How old are you now?
I'm 23.
Yeah, so you're back 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You started going there probably,
Yep.
what, when you were just a baby?
Yeah, from I think probably 4 till 7, probably.
You know, it's amazing. I wish we had more people here because there's thousands that she pretty much raised, right?
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Hands-on, too. She was there every day, wasn't she?
Yeah.
I remember memories of her coming in the station. She would have groceries in her back seat. Oh, my Lord. She only have 3 kids, Paulette. She goes, no, I got 100. Oh, my Lord. The food she would buy, the milk by the cases, unbelievable. But nutrition, when it came to that, she had the good foods and everything, didn't she?
Right. Yep.
Then she had an activity center out back there.
Yep.
And I remember Dickie Myers bringing Scotty into the restaurant there across the street before you take him out to Paulette's. But everybody went there, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
She was just full. I mean, she had a waiting line.
And we had yearbooks and stuff. I remember that.
Really? Yeah. Yeah, she made it fun, didn't she?
Yeah, it was cool.
And I bet it was disciplined too, eh?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, you think about it, Bob, the kids that come off the farm usually are the hardest workers, and Paulette showed that through her whole life. I bet it was hard for her to sell because she was really passionate about the kids, wasn't she, Brad?
Yeah, no, I think so.
So now talking about hockey, I probably should have found out a little bit more history about it. But in fact, I wish Ron, if he's listening, to text me and tell me what year she got involved and got this initiated hockey. But it was already on its way when you got in it.
Oh yeah.
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 So I would guess it was in the 80s when she started that. Early 80s. Actually, probably the late 70s. because I know the Britons were involved back in 80s, I'm going to say, and with their girls, and Paulette was back then. I don't know how the girl did it, running her business and then getting out soliciting for fundraisers. She was always asking, do you want to be in the magazine? You bet. Couldn't say no to her, anybody. And you know what is a tribute to her, Bob, is that she never got paid for it.
Oh, yeah, that's
You know, it wasn't a paid position. She did it out of the kindness of her heart for the community, you know, and I call her one of those unsung heroes. You know, a lot of people get in the paper for what they do for downtown or what they do in the county or got a road built or a subdivision. This gal did more than that. She took the kids that have done that and raised them right out of that little farmhouse down at the end of Mill Pond Road.
Yep.
But, Brad, so you started playing hockey.
I was 4 years old.
Do you remember Paulette at the hockey arena a lot too?
Oh, I'm sure. I always remember seeing her around. And
yeah, you know, she was there during the day. When that last kid left, that's what they say anyway. She was up at that ice arena.
Yeah.
And she was orchestrating. How are we going to get this done? And Bob, honest to God, nobody funded it. She had to go out and get funding for it. So you know what it'd be like to be a pioneer. You might say she was.
Yep.
Pioneer of hockey.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't
Hockey
realize.
is not a cheap sport to put on. So,
No.
you know, it's,
But you know, the kids today that are playing, actually, you guys have gotten better than your earlier on ones because of whatever. Coaching's maybe better, the techniques are better, or whatever. You're just, hormones are better. But, little joke there. But anyway, they don't realize that Paulette DeVries made this happen. If it wasn't for her, that ice arena with the high school students right now, I remember the high school itself never supported hockey until the last probably 5-6 years or whatever. They were always funded by the club that Paulette started. So, I mean, financially, I don't know. And then they tell me that she financed a lot of it. If there wasn't enough money there, she gave back.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's a lot of kids should go up to her and say, hey, happy birthday, Paulette.
Yes.
You know, I put it on the sign, but my sign doesn't take very good pictures during the day. It just doesn't, the clarity's not there. So I have to take them at night. Hell, I'm getting so old now, the time it gets dark, I'm in
Past your
bed
bedtime.
sleeping. And lately I've been sleeping in so I don't get there in the mornings.
well,
But
sometimes you do it before dawn. You know, and
yeah,
in
that's
the
what
winter.
I tried to do this morning with hers. She's been up there for 4 days.
Yeah.
I'm going to get it yet, you know, tonight. Tonight's the night. I'm going to take your picture, Paulette's picture on my board, because if anybody in town, and I mean this sincerely, when you see Paulette, she can be in pain, but she'll still make that crack of a smile.
Yep,
right?
for sure.
She's just a wonderful gal, and her husband Ron endured cancer now for a lot of years, and she's been there right with him, you know. And they never asked for anybody's to feel sorry for him, you know. They're always just positive, you know, and thinking about what they're going to do tomorrow. More people ought to emulate them. But what else about Paulette would you say, Brad, that makes her so special? I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but when you went there, is there any great memories you have out there besides be taken care of there?
No, I know, like, you know, friends that I met there that I'm still friends with, and then we can have some of those memories and talk about how we went to DeVries and have all those cool memories. And I think it's awesome, like you're saying. She is so good in the community that, like my dad knows her, my mom is very close with her too, and she has a positive impact on so many people.
You know, I was talking to Linda Myers, like I said, a little bit last night about it, and told her what I was going to do, and she shared some memories with me. And I said, you know, I wanted to put her age up there, but I said, some people be offended by that. She goes, not us. We're glad to get old. I love it. She said, I love it. Be able to say I'm 77 or 76, whatever she is. And I think Paulette turned 76. I'm not sure. But she looks just like she did 30 years ago. She's a beautiful girl, that's for sure. Ron got lucky there, and she got lucky with Ron. They both come from great families. I could talk about Ron forever, but this is about Paulette. You know, you say about childhood memories and friends that you've been acquainted with. Did your dad go there too when he was younger?
I'm not sure. I think so.
I think he did too.
I just know that he knows her very well, and yeah.
Well, you know, something on your dad, and this is a tribute to her again. If it wasn't for her and her hockey program, for years, now I'm not saying now, but for years back in the early 2000s, I'd always say to people, who was the greatest hockey player to come out of Big Rapids? And it was your dad.
Yeah, no, I think so too.
Yeah, he was a hell of a hockey player, basketball. But anyway, you tell us about your career so far. You were on a traveling team since how old?
I think I left for Grand Rapids when I was 7 or 8, and then followed it up until I was 16, and then I moved away to Illinois for 2 years and bounced around to Ohio for a year and a half and finished my junior career in Muskegon, and then ended up going to Ferris.
Yeah, that was a great accomplishment, wasn't it? Went to Ferris, you were very successful there. But you moved on from Ferris.
Yeah, so I did my first 2 years there at Ferris, and then I had the opportunity to sign with the San Jose Barracuda in the American Hockey League. So it's the same level as the Grand Rapids Griffins.
So you're pretty happy with that right now, eh?
Yeah, no, it was a great first year and a lot of learning experiences that I don't take for granted, and but I know what I need to do better for next year, and just keep my head down and keep working.
Yeah. So if you're talking to a little guy that, as soon as I said little guy, I think of Brendan Goldthwaite's little fella. Mm-hmm. He loves hockey, and so many kids do, like the Shively boy there, that Grady, I think it is. Yeah. He's pretty good, and he's on traveling team.
Yeah.
So he'll probably do similar to what you're doing, eh?
Yeah.
Those kids you ever get to talk to those kids? They have you around or?
Yeah. So we had dinner there a couple times. Fortunate enough, they had us out for dinner, and just amazing people, and talk about good for the community too. So I mean, they're awesome.
You don't have, but this is your life. I race horses on the side, and sometimes I wish I would have done it as a career, but it didn't turn out that way. But I know I'm not going to ask you if you have any resentments, but this has been your whole life.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I've missed a lot of things that the normal person would be really upset to miss, but I had it in the back of my mind that I wanted to be a professional hockey player since I was a little kid, and I don't regret a lot of things.
So you don't regret it at all.
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah. Well, it is a life. That you take. Sports is a funny thing. It's a job.
Yeah.
And if you're going to excel in it, you got to give it 24/7. You got to go for the gusto, you might say. But your next step now is it speed that gets you to where you're at right now? Or?
I think a lot of, there's a lot of different style players, and everybody, it's kind of like a football field that, you have a lineman who might be a bigger guy, and a receiver, tall, quick guy. It's the same thing in hockey. You have your big guys, you got your little guys, but
You're a big guy.
Yeah, me being a bigger guy, I think to be able to use my body and win puck battles in the corner and win battles in front of the net, and just do the little things that are going to get me there. I mean, I'm not the fastest guy, but always continue working on that and add those little things to your game that help you go even farther.
So, being the semi-pros, you travel a lot like the pros do, but now are you, your aspiration, actually, you said that you want to be at NHL. Mm-hmm. Is it looking pretty good to get there?
Yeah, so I mean, at the beginning of last year, we're one step under the Sharks or the NHL. So we're in the room with them all the time, and the coaches are watching us, and the GM, he is with our team all the time, and games or practice or whatever. So there's always eyes on you, and going into a game, there's pro scouts there every game, and I mean, being a pro hockey player is pretty cool, and but you always got people watching.
You ever? It's all in the head too. I mean, you got talent, that, but a lot of guys probably don't have that step that's called head. I mean, you got to be relaxed and focused. You ever get real nervous?
At times. I mean, I feel like there's little things that get me more nervous. My first game, I was pretty nervous. Going into my first pro game, that was pretty nerve-wracking. But, I mean, at the end of the day, you got to think it's just a hockey game. No matter what happens or no matter who you're going to play, it's all going to be the same, and they're going to tie their skates the same way as you do.
How did you do with them boys?
It was good. Yeah, I did really well, and I was really happy with my year.
Yeah.
But, I mean, credit to everybody else, too, that got me there. And while I'm here, I'd like to say thanks to my family and everybody in the community, like you said, that helped get me to that position. I definitely wouldn't be there without my family, for sure.
Yeah, that's what it all comes to, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And you got a great dad and mother and
Yep.
stepmom there, and great grandma Susie.
Yeah.
She's your biggest cheerleader.
She is,
She's another hero in this town. You know,
Yeah.
Paulette DeVries is a big hero in this town. I call him the unsung, just a great lady, and people ought to recognize her. They ought to have a Paulette Day up there, don't you think?
I think so,
There's
yeah.
hockey
I
or
think so.
The high school hockey, because I tell you what, most hockey players today in high school probably don't even know Paulette DeVries.
Probably not, no.
But I would like to see her have a Paulette Day on the ice rink, and maybe if who coaches the high school?
It's Tim Blasher right now,
Yeah,
but
Tim. I'm sorry.
if he goes, I think my dad would be a pretty good fit, I think.
Yeah, he is a good coach, your dad is.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm
yeah.
going to get a hold of Tim, because they should recognize her, that's for sure. Because if it wasn't for her, they wouldn't be on the ice today, or if they were, it wouldn't be the same, that's for sure, because she did finance that a lot. But now talking about your mother, or grandmother, I don't know when her birthday is, but she's another one that deserves a little tribute, and we're going to give her a 30-second fame to game here. You know, one day she came in the station, and she goes, here's some money. I know you buy gas for people that are up and down, and mostly down, and I do, and she helped me finance that for quite a few times, and I'm very grateful, and so are the people that she gave that to, because like I tell them, it's a little angel that gave it to them, and she's that angel.
Yeah.
Sue's got a big heart, and she's endured a lot of things in her life too that she shouldn't have. But tell us a little bit about what she's meant to you as a grandmother.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know honestly where to begin. You know, she's been, you know, the biggest supporter for me since I was a little kid, whether it was helping, you know, pay travel bills or do this or do that. I mean, she continues to watch every game and be like that biggest supporter that you've always wanted.
Right.
Cooking meals for me, and I know now till this day she every Tuesday will cook big meals for about 10 or 11 of the Ferris hockey players, so some of my former teammates. But just goes to show the lady she is and how she doesn't just care about herself. It's everybody.
Yeah. Yep, she is a wonderful lady, that's for sure. How about Grandpa Dave? You see him what?
Oh yeah, he'll stop by every once in a while and give me a call or give me a text and tell me that he's watching the games and that he's proud of me. So I'm very thankful for him too.
Bob, here I'm going to hand you this song. This song right here, I'm going to have you play at the end of our program, which is coming up here pretty quick, by Whitney Houston. It's Paulette's tribute song to Paulette DeVries for sure, and emulates their marriage for 50-some years, I think 58 years now. So she got married right out of high school there, and what a tribute to her. But anyway, we're going to play Tell Me.
Dolly Parton.
Did she really?
Yes, she did.
Yeah, she did. Hell
Yeah.
yeah, she sang it first.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Boy, Whitney just
So she
stepped
thanked
up.
Whitney.
But that song,
that was a retirement fund.
That's just what Ron DeVries loves his wife. And I asked him, I said, what's her favorite song? What would you dedicate to her? And Ron said that one. And I said, wow, that's
There you
beautiful.
go.
That says it all right there. We can't say any more than that. But I do know they met at the Sweet Note. You remember the Sweet Note out in Chippewa Lake?
before my time, yeah.
That's where they went. And she was a cheerleader in '66. And I think I've talked enough about her. Now we got to show action. Whenever you see Paulette, you hockey players out there, or ice skaters, whatever you are, or wherever you are, you see Paulette DeVries, thank her. She's 76 years old, young.
Yep.
76 years
Young.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Well, last night was my last night to have my wife go to a Big Rapids Township meeting.
Okay.
She has retired. Your stepmother, Mrs. Merrick, is taking over the helm for the duration of her term. There's a lot of reasons she's retiring at this time, and I won't mention those. But anyway, I think we're in good hands with your stepmother.
Yeah, Dina. Yeah.
Dina, yeah. Dina, great lady, and my wife, she's been her deputy, and my wife said right from the get-go, she is so much smarter than I. She can figure things out. She's a numbers gal, so the township vote for her this fall. She'll be coming up for election. She put her name in there, obviously, and she'll do a great job for us. We got a great team coming up there. Bruce Borkovich, great guy. He was there with me last night. We went to Schuberg's afterwards and celebrated her retirement. But I spoke about my wife, not just as a wife, but as a friend and a township resident. She's done a great job out there. I know she's been a little bit outspoken on some things politically in this town, but she spoke from her heart, and she has so much wisdom. She did so much good out there at that township. I'm very grateful for that, and I think the township should be too. She's still so much history there, and she's going to still be a deputy to Dina for a little short time here, just to get it rolling as smoothly as possible. But man, I tell you, the gal, she's pretty sharp. Pretty sharp.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Enough said. That pretty much. I just want to once again, and I mean this to Zach at Big Rapids Pennzoil and Auto Repair. They sell tires too. He's a great guy down there. So, folks, if you need price on tires, shocks, struts, whatever, they got some great Kenny Glazier's down there. As a mechanic, he's got some great mechanics down there. Seth Winger at Winger and Agency. Seth and I have been good friends. If you need a quote on insurance, see him. Gilbert's Carpet Plus. They do so much for the community and give back more than probably anybody in the community. I mean, it's not cheap carpet and stuff. And for what they do for the veterans and other people that you don't even know about, they're just the unsung heroes.
Yeah, their voting is going on now for the, the VFW or the AMVETS, any of those. They have the voting, who gets a new floor.
Yeah.
So go on over to Gilbert'sCarpetsPlus.com and cast your vote.
Just like Gordy and Todd Gilbert out there, last name Gilbert. I knew Max, their uncle, and Nori real well. The Gilberts traditionally have always been a good people in this community, and George and Tom and their wives, the same tradition is just integrity and honesty. So if you want a good price on any flooring at all, see George or Tom at Gilbert's Carpet. Benton Baker of Big Rapids, I think it's Baker.
Not yet. They're going through the legal of getting it changed over. Now, some places have gone over to Baker Auto Group, but some haven't. And the one here in Big Rapids is not Baker Auto Group quite yet, but they said over the summer.
And they sponsor and give back to the community too, so we're very thankful for Baker Auto Group. DW2, Dale, I know Dale real well. You know, he's a survivor of cancer. Could have felt sorry for himself and lived on welfare the rest of his life, but no, hell no. He works out every day at the gym, and he great drywaller, but more importantly, he's just a great person. He's done so many good things for the community too. All our sponsors, if you look at them, they're all good Americans, and Dale's just one of those great guys. And Michigan Landscape and Excavate, Jeff Garrett, new to the excavation, but right now he's working up there. If you want to see what kind of work he does, go up at Mitchell Creek Complex up there.
Okay.
He's up there in the back row, putting in a basement right now, doing all the landscaping back there. So if you don't want to listen to me and tell, Pat's full of beep, nope, go up there and see his work for yourself. Just drive right up on Mitchell Creek subdivision there.
There you go.
And then last but not least, our newest member, Nick Jackman. Great guy, great family man. You heard him earlier about his family there. They're great people, great Americans. Springfield Roofing, great tribute to America. I just love the guy. Him and Matt, both workers. They don't expect anything for free, and they'll give you a good price on industrial, commercial, flat roofing.
And of course, thanks to Currie's and Hooked at Currie's.
Yeah, that's going pretty good.
For lending us you for the.
Yeah.
They send you over once a week. It's very nice of them. So.
Yeah, they're doing a good job over there. Enough said.
Sounds good.
But anyway, one more song. Let's play a Patriot song here. The old flag.
Okay,
the old
before
rugged
we
flag,
do that
Johnny
now.
Cash.
Okay,
yeah.
When we turned the mic off last week, 5 things I wanted to mention. So think about it during the song.
Okay.
Okay, and if you come up with those 5 things, we can bring them up real fast for the after party. All right, so
you got Johnny Cash.
Talk for a minute.
Brad, anything else?
No, I just want to say thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Well, I'm going to have you on in that Ferris, what's his name?
Andy?
Yeah,
Noel?
plays for hockey.
Yeah.
We're going to ask about speed.
Yeah.
How much more speed do you have to have from Division I hockey to the pros?
Yeah.
Is there a big difference while we're waiting on the song?
Yeah, there's a bet.
Yeah.
There's a bet.
But just a fine line, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of like golfing. If you shoot a 31, the guy at 30 is going to beat you.
Yeah.
Right. So, and like Tim Burns, I know he's a real good golfer.
Oh, yeah, I know Tim.
Jerry Nielsen was a great golfer. And they always said there's only a couple,
Yeah, Tim is good, real good golfer.
Yeah, still is for his old age. He's 80 years old.
Still a good golfer.
Huh?
Still a really good golfer.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, walks it every day.
Ah,
out
it's
there in
crazy.
Khaki,
Yeah.
Try to get him to go out to Clear Lake Golf Course, which is #1 golf course on Wednesday night men's league. I don't think there's a better golf course than Clear Lake on Wednesday nights.
Nice.
Yeah, my brother, he goes out there and mows it for me and gets it all in great shape for Dan Hicks.
So it's the Pat round.
Yeah, Dan Hicks and I are probably going to win it this year. We haven't won it yet this year. We've consistently been in the bottom 5 of teams, but this year my game's a lot better. I think I'm going to do well.
All right, good.
Yeah. All right, play this old rugged dog.
Because he's got that, baritone voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that sums it up, America.
Anything
right
else?
now.
Because it's the 5.
Well, the only thing, this is a table discussion. We can bring up yesterday's news today and today's tomorrow.
There you go.
I've been told that the hockey program was started in 1983.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she got the first hockey team going in 1984.
Wow.
So you know what that means?
It's 40
years of
Yep.
hockey. And it should be a trophy case up there with her picture in it at the high school. I'm going to work on that.
There you go.
Because 40 years, how many kids have lived the American dream playing that, getting that puck and scoring, all that,
There you
all the
go.
great fun that these parents have had because of Paulette DeVries. So I'll tell you
Light the
what.
light.
Yep. Yep. So I just love her. And I know I'm talking too much. But I want to leave you with this. If you believe in God, ask for forgiveness. If you don't believe in God, I pray for you. Amen.
There you go. And we should end with Pete's song. Pete's not here this morning.
No, play my song. Toby Keith.
3 of your songs. We played.
No.
If I don't play it, I'll never hear it.
I know. I love it.